Mandy put on. List of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
and there's a one page explanation for each one, so
Oh,
we put
good.
them online
Okay.
so people would see them. And
Okay.
then, if they, if they can, and the ordinances,
Oh,
the
perfect.
changes are
Okay,
there too.
thank you.
So
All
you
right.
if you don't, if there's some problem, let me know,
Okay,
Mandy, because she,
Called meeting order. I would make a motion to approve the minutes of the December 30th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Selectmen. I watched the meeting on video.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Appointments and resignations, communications for Selectmen's report. Just to touch on the wells. Jay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The two remaining wells that need to be dug need to get groundwater, so they need to go through bedrock.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah.
Because the water will seep through the bed, right? Yeah.
Well, the
Whatever.
biggest
Yeah, I
issue
get it.
was getting access to the spots they need to dig. So I went up there with Public Works, we met Go Environmental,
Mhm.
met with Kevin and Travis afterwards. They said, yeah, it can be done. And we can do it, but it's gonna, yeah, and they have the materials because they do their own processing up at the garage,
Yeah, right.
but it's gonna be very time consuming. It'd take like 2 weeks for our guys to put this in.
Oh, my goodness.
So they have such a thing called a track drill. And this road was built to a spec to carry 100,000-pound drill truck, but they have a thing called a track drill. I called Go Environmental. I said, have you ever heard of this? And he goes, yeah, but our contractor doesn't have one. I said, well, we're not using your contractor.
Yeah.
We're not spending half a month on this thing.
Right, right.
So I'm reaching out. I met again with Travis and Kevin today. All we need is a 2-inch wellhead and we drill to first water in both sites.
Okay,
So there's tons of companies around.
Yeah,
We're gonna put it
yeah.
out there,
right.
and move forward with that.
And that's 2 wells,
That's 2, yeah.
and we have, who chooses where the wells go? Just out of,
Go Environmental,
who's,
predicated on what DEP.
great, that's what I
Yeah,
was getting.
if that
Yeah,
makes sense. I'd like to make a motion. We add subsequent business to the agenda.
You know, so second that, and,
All in favor? That's gonna be what I wanna do is add the ordinance changes to the agenda for the town meeting.
great.
Okay.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So tower lease, remember 2 meetings ago,
Yeah,
this thing of adding 20 years to a lease that doesn't expire until 2044. And locking us into rates that would then be essentially 40 years old.
Yeah.
Right? We said, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I told them, we're not doing that.
right.
She said, would you guys be interested in a buyout? I said, I have no idea. I said, send me the information. So they put in a lump sum payment of $920,000. But that would give them that lease site in perpetuity. And essentially, in 17 years, that's the amount they'd be paying us in rent. So before the lease even expires. Does that make sense? So with what they pay us monthly, in 17 years' time, it'd be more than that 920,000. But I said, I'll share it.
So that would be, I mean, we obviously still own the property,
Correct.
right? Cause our land where they're having it, I'm
Right.
not selling them the property. We're just, basically, really, it's not a buy, we're saying
You can have this easement in perpetuity.
that's what it is. It's an easement, really.
But my sense is in 18 to 20 years, when it comes up to renegotiate again, we're gonna be paying them, they're gonna be paying a much higher lease payment,
Yeah, I would think so.
right?
Okay,
And they currently have T-Mobile, Verizon and AT&T all
right,
co-located on
right.
that tower.
That's great. I mean,
Yeah.
that, when we first put that up, the plan was to do that, and I guess it was Verizon that I remember said, we're not putting any more towers over in your area. Now they're putting them out, now they're trying to put
Yeah,
more out in this
exactly.
area. Wish they'd fixed the one near my house to begin with, but.
That's all I had on my report. Jay,
Okay.
you have?
Just a couple things. The Sustainability Committee, we've been meeting regularly and, had a really great presentation last year on, plastic situation and well attended and lots of good feedback from folks. So we're doing one first, we're doing a plastic presentation, that'll be in March before, Earth Day. And, we're also gonna do one, about, tree health. As we know, there's many trees in our area that are being attacked by various bugs or fungi or whatever. And so we're bringing in somebody from Yukon Extension who has the tree experience to come in and talk to folks about what the problems are and what you can do at your own property
Okay.
to try to keep the trees healthy. So that one will be in March and the plastic one will be in February. I'll get the dates, but just wanted to let people know it's so that's
Great, thanks, Jay. New business. So I'd like to make a motion that we approach requests from the Board of Finance and ex-budget appropriation to cover expenses associated with public safety expenses following a fire. Is there a second?
yeah.
So what that essentially, we, back just prior to the holidays, we had a structure fire here in town. The building was uninsured.
How do you get away
It
with
became
that
uninhabitable,
when you have people in?
and then we had to put, and we had to make it safe that night. In other words, we had to hire a company to come in and plywood it, board it up. Then DEP came in, there was a dirt cellar. They took core samples, it's all been contaminated. We may have to test the wells in the neighboring properties, so it's just this big mess, so.
Sure. Do we have a sense of what we're asking for and to begin?
It's probably gonna be, right now, it's probably gonna be around $19,000. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But and based on that, Tuesday, this coming week, I'm meeting with our attorney, Randy DeBella, Linda Gomez, Fire Marshal Troy Kaiser, and building official Peter Bowman. They were all involved in this thing.
right.
We don't know if it's gonna be condemned, but right now it's unlivable.
Who does if it's condemned, it's the health department that would do that or?
Depending on, in this case, it would probably be Troy and or Peter, because what caused the condition was a fire.
Yeah,
If that makes sense, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
All in favor?
I,
I'd also like to make a motion to schedule a special town meeting to pass, to put to the town vote the ordinance changes that were already approved by the Board of Selectmen. To approve an expenditure of $16,726.40 from the housing fund to cover expenses associated with the Washington Community Housing Trust Baldwin Mill Road property. We had talked about that.
right, yep.
And to approve amending the Affordable Housing Fund ordinance to increase the amount of request appropriation of funds from $10,000 to $20,000. Now, and this would be for January 29th, 2026 at 6 p.m. It's town hall.
Okay.
The Housing Commission had initially wanted 30,000, and we discussed. Probably the biggest kink in that is the bid process. Now, it's got to be noted that these are all funds that have already been approved.
Yeah, I'm still, I think it doesn't make sense to me. I'm happy to prove this, but it doesn't make, I think we should talk about this more. I don't if we've approved a project up to a certain number.
Right.
And the town has approved it.
Mhm.
Then I don't understand, it makes no sense to me that every time we have an expense, then that we have to go back to a town meeting. I mean, because that gives the opportunity for the project to get voted down and then where the town already approved it. It seems to me the process should be the town approves the X amount of money that we ask for, and then as expenses come along, they have to go through the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen. I don't see why it needs to go back to a town meeting because town has approved the project up to that amount. We're now approving funding underneath that amount. See what I mean?
I do, but that's not what this is.
I know that. I'm just saying, I think in the future, I'd like to see us talk about that because it gives people, if somebody doesn't like the project, comes along later and wants to stop it, they can do that by getting enough, where the town is already approved. You see, you understand what I mean?
I do, but what this money is, this is the town hasn't, when they vote on the budget, they haven't approved a site specific.
Right.
They've approved $300,000 to
Right.
go into the housing fund. That's what this isn't specific to any project,
Right, what?
the 20,000.
Oh, this is just you're asking to amend it to go up to
From 10
10
to
to 20.
20.
Well, I agree with that for sure. Like I said, I'd rather see us just.
But as far as, again, when the town approves a budget that says we'll put put $300,000 in housing. It still has to go back to the town for a specific project.
Well, I thought,
It's-
I thought when we approved the one for Wickham, we approved a certain amount for that project.
Yep, and that got approved at town meeting.
Right, so after, maybe I misunderstand, is it when there's a bill then that comes in,
They can pay it. They don't need
we
anything.
don't have to go
It's already been approved.
to be, okay, so this talks about then if they've got something coming up or a project they think is gonna go forward, this one happens to be in the future, they can come to us in the Board of Finance for up to 20.
For site evaluation, et
Right,
cetera, et cetera.
right, before they even get the whole thing approved by the town.
Correct.
Okay.
So it still have to go,
Right,
it sounds redundant, but it's not. Even though the town approved the monies, the town also has to approve the specific project.
that's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. This is for not a approved specific project.
Correct.
That's the point.
Correct.
Okay, I'm fine. Sorry, I
No, that's all right.
misunderstood. I'm happy to do that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, visitors. We'll start our line. Susan? Todd, Randy? Good.
Actually, it's one thing, I don't know if I remember correctly, has the state come back, given that we're into budget season, has the state come back with guidance as far as where
The ticket funds?
money, yeah, broken that down?
They have, but it's not what we learned, Todd, from. Was it COVID? What we learned from the COVID thing was it's not their final. They can, they'll go right up to the end. Before, right now it's road safety, but we're not confident that's where it's gonna end.
That there could be other items added to it, you mean? That's,
That they could change, cause it was really broad. It was,
right, I remember.
it was like. I can't believe they wouldn't change it. But so before we spend any of that money, we wanna be confident that we're doing it with whatever the latest guidelines are. The latest ones for, I wanna say it was COVID. There had to be 50 of them. Latest guidelines.
So in this case, they have when they originally passed this, they said they could be used for X, Y, and Z.
Yep, and we just wanna be sure that that all holds up
Sure.
before we factor that into our budget, and it can be like the last thing we do in April, Todd, we could go that far out with it.
Well, I mean, a couple of quick things, I
Sure.
mean, that. I don't expect them to be quick about doing things, even though. More and more towns are. Getting permission to do this and.
Yep.
We have, but on our behalf have this to do. I'm just thinking in terms of. Between statutes and regulations, things can get very granular and.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I mean, they could just. Give you a list. It's either. Cynical of me, either overly broad, or they can just break it down to just
Minutia,
minutia like you can't believe. It's like, oh, well, okay, the transportation. Mobility or something, it's like, oh, you can do this, but you can't put it into something to maintain, or you could put it for maintenance of your. Town truck, vehicle fleet for plows or this or that, I mean, it can, I'm just.
that's what.
That would
we're-
be nice.
That's what we're skeptical of, because the way. It seems too good to be true that I can take, so every year we put $600,000 in Kevin's road repair fund, right, capital. It seems too good to be true to say you can stick the citation money in there and back that out, right, and it gives you 600,000 to spread around the rest, that just seems too good to be true.
And that's not usually their history. I mean,
It's not,
feds
but
are always saying you gotta use, you can't supplant what you've already got in your budget. It can be something, that's what in the past with many of the funds from the feds. You can't, if you already got it in your budget, you can't use it for that. You can add something new and use the money. So I think you're right to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right, it does come up a lot, so we're gonna wait, Todd, until we're certain they're not gonna change it again.
have they, other than the law itself, have they actually come out with some guidance on that?
No, it's
Yeah.
totally vague.
And I think that's the problem. You can't just go by what the law says, because they haven't listed what you can do.
Yeah, and I can reach out to Steve Harding, Maria Horn, they've been pretty good about predicting anything in the pipeline. Relative to those things, or Eric Berthel, and just say, hey, are you guys aware of anything? Or can we go ahead and move on this,
Yeah.
Um,
Who's it come under the money? Is it, what department is the state?
The state doesn't have anything to do with it, because they didn't even build themselves in for a cut.
No, but somebody must be regulating it, the state, an agency that this.
OPM,
OPM
policy
comes
management,
under,
yeah,
okay, so it's
yeah.
not like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the one to ask, are you gonna issue any guidance?
I don't even trust that, honestly,
Yeah,
because they have
yes,
such
you're
a
right.
turnover of people and,
Right.
but. Susan, you're unmuted. Did you have something to say?
You just asked if I wanted something, and so I just wanted to say, no, I'm just listening.
Oh, thanks, Susan. Okay, no further business. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Susan.